Paper 2, question 24. ABC is a triangle. Not labelled it, but ABC is a triangle. Diagram not accurately drawn. Work out the area of the triangle ABC. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. You have a triangle here that is not right angled. If it was right angled, you could just do area equals half of base times height, the end. A non-right angled triangle, if you're trying to find the area for it, and you've got sides and an angle involved, which kind of by default you will, you're using one of your formulas from the front, the area of the triangle formula, which goes that the area is half of little a times little b times sine of c. Okay? Now this question's actually worked out perfectly for it, because capital A, there's little a, capital B, there's little b, and angle C. But just to point out, if we didn't even have any of those sides involved, you could still use this formula. Because what little a, little b, and capital C, and same with the cosine rule and sine rule, what those a's, b's, and c's all refer to is your choice. You decide what is an a, a b, and a c in this question, not the question itself. So even though they talk about this a, b, c, it could be p, q, r, or x, y, z, it doesn't really matter. All you know is that when you use this formula, your sides, little a and little b, this capital C, this angle is going to be between little a and little b. Because if this is little a, this is little b, that's little c, which makes this capital C. So when you're trying to find the area of a triangle, you need two sides and the angle between them. So based on what you have here, you already have what you need. You don't need to label the triangle. Half of 6 times 7 times sine of 60. Plug all that into your calculator and you get 18.186 and a bunch of other stuff afterwards. But this question says that it wants your answer to 3 significant figures. So after the third significant figure, we're going to be rounding. You end up with 18.2 centimeters squared. That's part A. Part B, same triangle, same ABC. It's asking you to find the length of AB, this side, okay? Now, it's a non-right angle triangle, so there's no Pythagoras involved, there's no SOHCAHTOA trig involved. Any triangle where sides and angles are involved, you're going to most likely be using either the sine rule or the cosine rule. Which one you need to use depends on what you're given. If you look at the formula sheet, the sine rule involves a combination, depending on which A, B, or C you use, a combination of two sides and two angles, because you only use one equal sign in it. So two sides or two angles are what need to be involved for you to use your sine rule. To use a cosine rule, what needs to be involved are three sides and one angle. Now when you look at this, taking into account what you have and what you don't have, 1, 2, 3 sides are what we care about, one angle is what we care about. This is the cosine rule. And I'm not even going to bother writing the capital A, capital B, and capital C up there because it's irrelevant. We can use our cosine rule, which is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A, or it's right there, times cos of capital A. The important thing here is that we're looking for a side, so it is going to be little a effectively, because we're using that formula for a reason. If that is little a, that makes this capital A, and little b and little b and little c can be whatever they want, we don't care. As long as you have that this side and this angle are across from each other. Or in other words, the side you're looking for, you need to have this angle. Alright, we can use our cosine rule. Plugging everything in, we end up with a squared equals 6 squared plus 7 squared. Take away 2 times 6 times 7 times cos of 60. You can put that in your calculator all in one go. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That also alleviates any problems here, because when you have an obtuse angle in the cosine rule, when you cos it, you end up with a negative, and this creates a double negative. If you actually typed in your calculator all in one go, it deals with that for you. You won't get that here, but just food for thought for other ones. What we now have is, when you do that, you end up with the number 43. A is being squared right now. We don't want that squared. We want just a by itself. So we have to take the square root both sides, and our answer turns out to be 6.557 and a bunch of other stuff. Again, we only want to 3 significant figures, so we're going to be rounding after the third significant figure. That 7 will round that 5 up to 6. A is 6.56 centimetres. That's your answer.